Only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. Sean Belizean, he's somewhere in this building.
We don't know where he went.
We don't know where he went. He's in this building, but Stick is here right now.
I feel like I need a can of chew to like stand off over here, start talking.
Right.
Do your best.
KG, why's the audio not sounding good?
Right. Because you're moving all over the place.
Welcome.
All right, well, it's good to be here with you, Stick. As long or as short as that may be. We got KG.
Yeah,
KG, what's really good?
Oh, you know what's really good.
I do.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Sean Belizean.
Got a fat dip in right here. I'm Sean Belizean.
He's not from Dixie.
Right. Like
Little bit.
Not your cousin, man.
He's from the Ville. Hey, congratulations on that Orchard Lake St. Mary State title, by the way. Ninth, huh? Yeah, it's almost like they have inherent advantages, huh? No doubt about it.
Oh, boy, here
Spencer
we go.
Raxter, how are you?
I'm tired.
You tired?
Yeah.
Tired of what?
It was a long weekend.
It was. It was.
I am tired of Michigan State.
Woodward
Nobody
Sports.
wants to hear about that.
We're gonna get into it, by the way. Don't think you're skating away with that
It's
one,
fine.
Spenny.
We should.
And we're going to.
Well, listen, there's a lot of excuses being thrown around. It's
Yeah.
really weird, man.
It is weird. We're going to get to that. Dante151 in the chat. Jump into the chat, by the way. Get your thoughts out there
Morning,
about
Timmy.
it. Dante151. Hey, Sean, good job on calling one of the high school football games on Saturday. Did a good job. Also, Ryan Day needs to be the next Bears coach.
Thank you.
I love that.
Just so you can get fired again.
You know, do you want to start there? Do you want to just start there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
So
wherever
you
you
and
want.
I, in the summer, not only here but in other places, kind of stuck up for Ryan Day, right? And let me start with, there is no excuse. They had no business losing to Michigan on Saturday. You know it.
Yep.
I know it. That's why you're celebrating. Okay? Let's not mince words. Ohio State was the better team. Ohio State should have won that game.
Had every chance to.
That doesn't take away from your excitement, nor should it. That's huge. It's absolutely huge. Ohio State has Michigan on the brain again. I've seen this. You've seen this.
Mm-hmm.
This is mid-90s Ohio State, Michigan, where I watched Ohio State go into that game multiple times, not just the better team, but a team that should have won going away, and they didn't. They have Michigan on the brain again, okay?
I'd argue it's worse. It's worse now.
It probably is.
Yeah.
It probably is. Okay, but let me say this, all right? The goal, as you guys know, the goal is to get into the playoffs. Ryan Day got into the playoffs. He did. Isn't
Correct.
that where you want to be? I know it's where
Not
I want-
everybody.
I know it's where I want to be. Like, and again, you guys, please, I am not pissing on you in any way, shape, or form. I know some of you are going to think that, and that's okay. All right? And Neil isn't either. I think I can speak for Neil.
I mean,
You won the game.
yeah.
You won the game.
Clearly, I mean, we want to be in the playoffs. I mean, that was the goal from the beginning of the season. But like I said, I'm on the contrary just based on how things happened in this particular year alone. It was, like I said, after about 4 or 5 games, you kind of know the season Michigan's going to have. So for them to go into the horseshoe and win this particular game with this particular Michigan team against that Ohio State team, I felt like that exposed everything we have been saying about Ryan Day
That's
for,
a fair
for
point.
seasons now.
That's a fair point.
I would take the Ohio State dub
Okay.
over the playoffs in this particular year.
Yeah, and I can't say that you're wrong, nor
Yeah.
nor am I saying you're wrong. I mean, for me, I use the example the Kenneth
I'm saying
Walker
he's
game.
wrong.
The Kenneth
And that's
Walker
fine. I know
game.
it's not a popular opinion, but
I can't. The Kenneth Walker game was so beautiful to Michigan State fans for a couple reasons. Not only did you beat Michigan, which is always a welcome sign, but the way they did it. Because, to quote a good friend of mine, I was told you can't run on
I
Michigan.
wonder where you heard that.
I was told Kenneth Walker III would be lucky to get 50 yards. So the way they did it, I'm not joking, Spenny, I'm sure I can speak for you. I was probably aroused for like 7 hours straight. I'm not. It was like I popped 2 of those pills.
Borderline calling the numbers.
No, like really, full mast and everything. But you know what? Fast forward a few weeks, I would have traded that win in every day to be where Michigan was. Would have traded 7 times a day. I would have traded that win in.
Can we put that on the poll? Just level, Michigan fans. You want that Ohio State win, or do you want to be in the playoff?
Yeah.
What do you want?
I'm not mad at either
KG says
answer.
he wants the Ohio State win, which is unfathomable to me. But we'll definitely get there.
It'd be different if we didn't win the national championship last year. Then I'd be like, absolutely, I want the playoff. But seeing that we won the title, like I'm cool on this year. Just
that's my problem.
Yeah,
that's my problem.
But I'm just saying, just based off of what we've seen to this point, that wasn't my preseason expectations for this team. But just where we are right now, I'll take the Ohio State dub. Screw it.
In the
And we'll
chat,
just get right next year.
DNCENT, I feel bad for Michigan State fans. They don't understand the jubilation we as Michigan and Lions fans feel getting both of your rival coaches fired in a 1-week span. Guys, all right, he's not going to get fired.
Not yet.
They're going to the playoff
Yeah, they
again. He's not going to get fired. He can't beat Michigan.
But if he loses in the playoff, you can't tell me that it's not the hot seat ain't on 10.
Well, that all depends.
I think the only way he retains his job is if he wins the national title.
Literally.
I mean, and that's to be determined, right?
Literally.
Like, what are your options? You know what I'm saying with that?
I get
What's
you.
the recruiting
I get
look like? You know, all that kind of stuff. You got to take that stuff into account.
absolutely.
Which that's a different discussion for a different day. But yeah, Thomas, Neil, you going to talk Lions at all? The morning show was a circle jerk for Moore and Michigan. Yeah, we are going to talk some Lions. Certainly, we're doing pretty much football exclusive today, though a hockey thing did break that we're going to talk about earlier since I have Sean Belizean here with me. Is that fair? So that's
Let the kids watch.
let the kids watch.
Oh, was he a mess on Saturday? Oh, my God. He was, your guy was a mess. That call of the game. My God, you saw the Sylvester going around. He picked it up. What? And the whole time I watch, I don't do Gus Johnson imitations anymore. I do Neil Rule doing Gus Johnson imitations now. Right?
That was bad.
Neil, that's what you've done to me. You've broken me. I admit it. I don't do my own Gus Johnson. I do Neil Rule doing Gus Johnson imitations. He was Sylvester the Cat.
The 2 worst things about that game were obviously the pick at the goal line where he picked at the goal line. You couldn't even hear what he was saying.
Yeah.
And then the last call, as funny as it was, we didn't cheat this time.
Yeah, right.
You gotta have a better call cooked up than that. That was the biggest upset of the year. What are you doing?
Yeah, it wasn't his best work. I could even admit it wasn't Gus's best work.
The legislation too, with the. Just his legislation where he's sitting there saying, "What Michigan's classless right now," and all that kind of stuff about planting the flag and all that stuff. Like, dude,
Yeah, that's wild.
and look,
That's what you do. You don't plant the flag.
Bro, it
Fucking
happened
win
to
the
us
game.
twice this year. Oregon and Texas did it to us.
no,
so we
I'm
took it in
not
stride.
I'm not even talking about that. Like, it's not my job to legislate.
No.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what's happening.
agree with you.
Michigan's out there; they're going to plant the flag.
There it is.
You don't need my opinion.
Right.
You'll draw your own opinion.
Yeah.
And then I step to the side and let it play out.
Yep.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta
Like,
let it
that's the
breathe.
job. Yeah.
Let it breathe.
That's the job.
Let the pictures speak for what's going on.
Right.
That's the job.
It's that simple.
If
Like-
it's radio, it's different. But if you're doing the TV call, they're watching it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not up to you to legislate people and give your opinion, because your opinion is
unbiased.
meaningless.
Right.
And you
supposed to be
shape people's thoughts. See, that's the other thing too. Your words shape people's thoughts. I always think about that. Now here it's a little different because we're in like an entertainment medium, Like I always tell you guys I say exactly how I feel as if I were sitting with my friends on a bar stool. Because I do. That's what this job calls for. There's an entertainment angle to it. I kind of call it like a pseudo wrestling character type stuff to it. But in the end, what I'm telling you is what I believe every single time. I'm never going to do stuff for clicks or stuff like that. When I'm doing play-by-play stuff, then it's different. It's a different job. My words shape your thoughts. They just do.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that and respect that. And I didn't like that. I didn't. Just being real with you. no, it is not up to you to legislate what's going on out there.
I can't stand fake enthusiasm. I can't. Like, honestly, it drives me out of my mind. It just, and I think,
well, it leaves you nowhere to go when real stuff happens.
right. If you're doing something like that at that moment, okay, what happens when the bigger moment happens? You can't go back to Bobcat Goldthwait. Because that, I mean, it was. I was watching Scrooge.
It was tough.
That was really, really tough. And obviously the guy has a lot of success, and I know somebody's going to get mad. KG, I'm glad to hear you say it. You know, you're a fan, but even if you're the biggest fan, that was rough on Saturday.
Oh, it was brutal.
That
Absolutely
was rough
brutal.
on Saturday.
And I know we get the Gus Johnson jokes, which is fair because we already know where his allegiances lie. But yeah, for the high pitched screaming like Spinny said on the goal line TD, that was crazy. Like the end of the game stuff was crazy. It was not his best work. It wasn't. It was not.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Steve Wilds. Neil looked pretty silly this weekend. Why?
No,
I took Michigan in the picks. Like,
you did.
you know what I'm saying?
You did, yeah. You did take him with the points.
This is Ryan Day we're talking about. There are questions, man. Like, there are questions, and the moment's too big for him. And he's the most mentally small person I've ever seen.
He is a mental midget.
He lets all that ancillary stuff bleed over into calling the game.
He reminds me of like a guy that's 5'5" that drives an F-250.
Yeah.
That's exactly who Ryan Day is.
Hey, Ryan Day, in the F-250. Ha ha!
We can share in it today. I love it.
Yeah, no, 100% we do. 100% we do. The one thing we won't, what?
No, I just cut to Sean when he said a guy who's 5'5" that drives an F-250.
I'm going to get, Sean doesn't know it.
My bad.
You guys wait. This is going to be a master class today.
Oh, yeah.
When you least expect it, it's going to appear. When you least expect it. He'll have thought we moved on.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Hey, Sebastian Costa, getting the call up. Ha ha. No, we're gonna get there.
The one thing I personally would fire Ryan Day right now if I'm Ohio State's management, because he's not going to win you a championship. He will not win you an NCAA championship. He does. I don't think he has the chops for it.
But remember, Spenny, they were a missed field goal away from beating Georgia, and obviously they would have clapped TCU.
They would have clapped TCU. But like when I look at this game against Michigan, and congratulations to you guys. I'm sure it was an amazing feeling.
Yep. Thank you.
I have no dog in there. I'm not one of these fucking weirdos that like buddies Ohio State.
Your happiness is determined by what happens somewhere else.
No, the fucking Michigan State fans I see out there that are like buddy with Ohio State fans. That shit kind of makes me sick because I don't like Ohio State either. I don't hate them as like I hate Michigan or Penn State, but I don't like them.
Yeah.
But the way Ryan Day didn't throw the ball 45 plus times in this game blows my mind.
It makes no sense.
Do you know
Because he had to be the tough guy.
Do you know what? Do you know where he is right now? He's on the Dabo arc right now. He really is.
Yeah.
He's at that point where this is going to go one or two ways. Either people are going to stop using him as the butt of the joke, or he's going to find a way to go like that. Mm-hmm. To me, Spenny, how do you fire a guy that got into the playoff? I don't know how you do that. I really, truly don't. I think he's going to get another opportunity, but he's at that something's got to give point right now, like Swinney was, and he really was. People forget, before Clemson became all that, people forget that he was the butt of a lot of jokes going back 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. He was the butt of a lot of jokes going back. And that's the last place Ohio State wants to find itself, is the butt of jokes. And now you're not just the butt of the Michigan jokes, and I know how much that's a dagger to your soul. Now you're the butt of jokes all over now. And that's reality.
This year is a little different because, one, the payroll that you had for Ohio State going into this year, literally everybody was saying you need to do something with all this talent that you paid for. And now Michigan keeps you probably out of the Big Ten championship. That's strike one. If he goes to the playoff and loses,
that's meaningless.
I get that.
And we're going to talk about that when we come back, by the way.
Yes, it's meaningless, but it's not a good look. You can't tell me that, the donors for Ohio State are looking at that like, oh, okay, if he flubs up in the playoffs, now what? So I think he's on borrowed time. Like, if he doesn't bring home a natty this year with this team, he's in trouble. I'm sorry. I just believe he's in trouble.
Yeah,
go ahead, Connie.
I was just gonna say, I was gonna go to break. If you want to say something first.
No.
Yeah, and,
I was going to send it to break.
I know Flannel Brady and KG didn't need this to wake up the morning, but maybe Travis needed some because he was sleeping a little hard. Sabbath Coffee Roasters will wake you right up whether you win or lose your rivalry game. Make sure you tap in. Locally roasted, delicious coffee delivered right to your door. Right to your door. How else can you beat that? Subscribe at SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first order. Wake up, enjoy game day right, and start your day off with Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule here for Woodward Merch. That's right, the Black Friday sale still going on. Use the code WSN10, get 10% off your purchase. Shop.woodwardsports.com. We got a whole new lineup of everything. All the football, baseball, basketball, hockey. There's a Woodward Sports golf line as well, and we got it all there for you. Here's a promo code, WSN10. Shop.woodwardsports. Ha ha! All right, we're keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizian in for D-Mac, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Chuck Brewer, Neil, is Day a glorified Franklin?
Oh, yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so either.
No.
So James Franklin can't beat anyone.
Anyone.
Ryan Day just can't beat
Beat
anyone.
Michigan.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Or win in the playoff. But
No.
Yeah.
No. Now, in fairness, if we're going to be fair, at least we can say Franklin won the Big Ten. I mean, we remember the fraudulence of that.
Yeah,
But he won the Big Ten. But, of course, it was Ohio State that ended up representing the Big Ten that particular year. But no. When you win the Big Ten, when you get to the playoff, when you find a way to win in the playoff, no, you can't do that. You can't. No, you can't. And again, you guys, this is really the first time that he lost to a shit team. Really, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of all his losses, he lost to a loaded Oregon team that was ranked highly. He lost to all those, solid Michigan teams, and eventually we know how that panned itself out. This is the first loss that he had where I think even the most diehard Michigan fan would say today, wow, they had no business losing that game.
235 yards of offense from Michigan.
We had 5 yards at the half, but somehow had 10 points.
235 yards of offense, dude.
Yeah,
it is. If I'd have told you
that,
if I'd have leaked that box score, you would have said, "Oh my god!"
But this is why I'm telling. It means more because it was Michigan that was that shit team, bro. Like they had every chance to win this game. You got stopped in the red zone umpteenth upon umpteenth amount of times. Like there is no reason for that they should have lost this game. It means more.
It harkened back to Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler things.
Yeah.
And like all the videos that we've seen ad nauseum. I mean, Neil, when you say that, I mean that's Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And it legitimately was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Now, occasionally they mixed in a 4-yard run to get themselves a first down, but that's legitimately what it was. And it was old school. I think, kids, this is what college football, especially in the Big Ten, once was.
Yeah.
What you saw on Saturday, that's what the Big Ten was. And that's why so
BCS
many of
style.
us have said for years the Big Ten is inferior. And this year it's just an absolute crap show. I mean, this conference is awful this year. Let's be
If it
honest.
wasn't Michigan, Ohio State, that was unwatchable.
We need to get on our
Unwatchable.
hands and knees and thank the good Lord that Oregon was in the conference this year. We do.
Which is crazy to say.
This is an awful, awful Big Ten. And I think we all have to acknowledge that and move on.
I will say this. Every time I see Orgy, I'm like, why don't they just roll with it and do the Service Academy bit? I'm convinced they would have won 9 games.
This is why, like, Kirk Campbell needs to be gone. Because, honestly, when you look at it, I mean, Wink Martindale hasn't had a perfect year, but
But
ultimately,
is he saved now?
I mean, shit.
Can I call a timeout?
Did he not coach a damn good game?
Can I
thought he
call
did.
a timeout? I don't think enough's being said about the way Wink finished the season, and I mean that in all sincerity.
seriously.
I think from the Indiana game on, when they settled shit down in the Indiana game, and the way they finished the season, that's what you want.
With
out
no
of your
Will
team.
Johnson, by the way.
And by the way, the complete opposite of what you saw in East Lansing, Spenny.
Yeah.
You want progression.
Yeah.
And for all the slander that was thrown Wink's name, Neil, I don't think enough is being said
No, that's a
about
fact.
how that defense just kind of went like this, and especially down the stretch. You have to give them credit where it's due. Whereas, in other places, in East Lansing, everything regressed.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a guy that I think a vast majority of the fan base, KG, you'd know better than I think the vast majority of the fan base wanted this guy gone just a
I
few
did
short
too.
weeks ago.
I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
Guilty
KG,
here.
yeah, I'm just going by what I was
I
told.
didn't know that. I know
No,
that.
I'm on record saying
Okay.
that he probably needs to be fired too. But like you said, the way he's finished the season, I think he's at least warranted himself to get another shot.
So
at
he's
the
back.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
we're
Kirk
back,
Campbell is a non-negotiable. He's got to go.
Okay.
You had 39 yards from your quarterback. He's got to go.
3.9 yards per attempt.
That's horrible.
With no tutties
I
and
could
2
have went out
picks.
there and did that.
And you never felt like they weren't going to win.
No, that's
I
a
did.
fact.
I always felt like they were going to win that game. From the first quarter on, you were like, "Oh my God, it's Ryan Day," and
No,
they're
that's a
shrinking
fact.
again. Woodward Sports. Here's what I wanted to talk about though. Woodward Sports chat thread. What would you rather have this year? This win over Ohio State, 64% of playoff berth, 36%. I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that, man.
It was 64 for Ohio State? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can't rock with that. And here's my
not
problem.
at all.
Here's my problem with the new playoff, by the way. And look, I'm happy for my Michigan. You're my friend, KG.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
happy you got a good moment there.
Thank you.
I'm
I
happy for
appreciate
you.
that.
Like people were like atting me on social media and stuff like that. Like I have a lot of friends. I have friends that work at Michigan.
Yep.
I'm happy for
I
them.
keep
Michigan
telling you,
friends.
though, it's the tone. I keep telling you that.
No, I'm happy.
And
I'm
you
happy
pimping
for
out your
them.
3 Michigan friends.
And I'll take it a step further and tell you this. Here's the crime of the expanded playoff. There's no punishment for Ohio State. Literally, they're rewarded. They're rewarded because now they don't have to go to the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
They're rewarded.
That's fine.
And that's dumb. That's there is no penalty for that game.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Day gets to keep it pushing, and they're going to play for a national title. And that's why, KG, that is my problem I do have.
Okay.
For the people to say I'd rather have this Ohio State win, wouldn't you rather validate your championship season and make a push to be in that discussion with the Georgias and the Bamas and the Clemsons and stuff like that?
That would have been nice, but you need a quarterback to do that. And we haven't had a quarterback all effing year long. That's why I'm saying I'm just going off the circumstances of how the season went.
I'm
That's
glad you bring that up because you know what? A lot of the root problems haven't changed. And I know that everybody did an about face on Coach Moore as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we have this conversation and be adults and not have people scream at you and call you a hater? Is this the same Coach Moore that so many of you saw the same things that I saw and had the deer in the headlight look way too many times?
He did.
Is this the same Coach Moore that was the guy that looked at this quarterback situation and said, we're cool. I feel really good about
in
this.
January. I mean, what else was he going to do in
But
late January?
You know what? Don't forget you've got that window in April as well.
Yeah,
I mean, and I contend, and this is where I'm serious, okay?
Yeah.
You're Michigan. You could call any kid at pretty much any school and go, hey, do you want to be on national TV multiple times this year?
Not when you're not offering the bag, and that was the problem.
And I don't know if they were or not, but there is no conceivable way that you have to worry about talent evaluation right now. In my mind, you do. You have to worry about talent evaluation that you thought that Stephen Threet and Nick Sheridan and John O'Korn were going to be okay going into this season.
Right.
You thought that you could legitimately hang around and find yourself in a playoff spot. Those problems are still there. They are. In my mind, they're still there.
But this is why I kind of wanted to throw Sharon some rope, because one, he has a knack for recruiting, it appears. Like he's gotten, at Michigan, we've always had good players, but we've never had the best of the best of the best. And I feel like, Sharon, he's more relatable. He can flourish in that role if the school allows him to do that. And it does appear that we are having a philosophy change. So if you combine his recruiting, record with the fact that it appears Michigan is going in a different direction, this is why I kind of was giving Sharon some rope.
No, but KG, here's what it is. And Alex Stewart, the premise that an edit requires validation after the fact is ridiculous. No, Alex, to jump in the discussion with the Bamas and the Georgias.
And
you know what I'm saying? To be on a run and be on a level like that, you don't chase a national title with 7-5 telling me about recruiting.
I hear that, but if we were to get it, not making any predictions about next year, but let's say, Bryce Underwood, he comes, he works out, they get back to the playoff, and let's say they win the first round game and lose. Does that would still constitute as us still being at least in the tier? We're competing for national championships. We may not have won it, but the fact that we were able to bounce back off of a 7-5 season and get to the playoff and damn near to the championship, you don't think that would constitute us still being in that conversation?
Is it good enough at Georgia or Bama?
No. But
Kalen DeBoer could be fired if they don't make the playoff.
This also at the same time, there is a difference. You're right. This ain't Georgia.
And that's
this
my
ain't
point.
Bama.
Okay. I just wanted to hear you say it.
At the same time, yes, the Big Ten is different. Like, we went through that. When you are in the SEC, it's so much easier to reload because you have access to the talent like at your doorstep. For Michigan, it's not, especially when you're not shelling out money. So I just feel like things are starting to become different, which is why I'm willing to just rock with the way the season went. I think that's fair.
Would it be good enough other places? All these places that you claim to be on par with?
No, and to your point, next year I expect a lot more. I do. But this shit can't fly. What happened this year can't fly next year. But I'm willing to throw in some rope just because of how it went down.
And I know everybody's so quick to dismiss the bowl game, okay? But I still believe in this from a visual standpoint. There's a huge difference between rolling at 8-5 in a season and rolling at 7-6 in the season, okay? And again, it's what people are going to say. So a lot of us, Neil, I think you were in the same. I thought this was a 9-3 football team that would be just on the outside looking in from the playoff. We said at the beginning of the year, that's a conversation we had. If you can somehow salvage a bowl win, and we know what the bowl wins are today, make no mistake about it.
Right.
The quote-unquote less than bowls are going to be missing a lot of the top players, okay? But this, again, Neil, is the eye candy, okay? If you can turn around and say, yeah, we took a step back, we knew we were going to do it because we lost this, and this from the 2023 team, but we still got 8 wins. And, oh, by the way, beat Michigan State and Ohio State.
There you go.
That's some window dressing to me.
Absolutely.
Is it good enough, Neil, to your point? Is it good enough?
No.
I don't know how any human being could say it's good enough.
Right.
But you know what?
They're in here. They're right. I can read them for you if you want.
I think you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
But if you go and you say, dude, we got 8 wins. We got 8 wins. We beat Ohio State. We beat Michigan State. You can't call that disaster. You can't call that
not
disaster.
necessarily, no. Not necessarily.
See, the rub with that is, and I was looking at bowl projections because I'm a sicko like that.
I love them.
I'm gonna tell you what I saw when we come back. Let's talk about the Lions pregame show. That's right, all football game day. Nobody's doing it better than Woodward Sports. It starts on Sunday mornings with Woodward and Maine, 8 to 9 a.m. Terry Foster, Matthew Broder doing a deep dive into the Lions. and then they step aside and let myself and Sean Belesian step in with the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Brought to you by Sabbath Coffee Roasters and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Home game days on Sundays. We're down there at Second Best, 42 Watson Street, couple blocks from LCA. And how does it work? I'll tell you how it works. Myself and Sean Belesian, we drink a bunch of Tallers from the New Holland Brewing Company, and we talk about Lions football. Is that about cover it?
Also true.
And then we take a flashback look at a game from the 60s. And that's pretty much how it works, everybody. But trust me, it's fun.
It is.
I know it's fun because tens of thousands of you watch it every single Sunday. You guys already know it. The masses are learning. Nobody does football game days like Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
1800 Tequila is the official tequila of the Woodward Sports live watch party and post-game show. They are also a proud partner of the Detroit Lions. You can see right there, they got the Lions-themed bottle in stores now, so make sure you go get that while you can. 1800 Tequila, the smoothest taste in tequila, and please drink responsibly.
Keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belesian in for D-Mac, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Danny G, dude, Michigan fans get labeled as the psychos. You all watched us win that game, and now you're trying to completely discredit the team. Danny G.
Who did that one?
Dude, what are you hearing? What?
You won.
Like, I'm not being funny. What are you hearing?
You won. Both things, the following two statements are true. You won. You're a 7-5 team.
Yeah.
Props.
Flat
Like
out.
you
Yeah.
won a game
I'm
that you had
happy
no
for you
business
guys.
winning. I'm serious. Like, props. You are living rent-free in Ryan Day's head.
You've destroyed a man.
Yeah.
Neil,
For real.
I'm not joking. We were talking about this before the show, and this is for you, Danny, okay? I felt sorry for you Michigan fans, and I was literally watching the game with a Michigan fan, okay? And I turned around, not only a Michigan fan, but he played for Michigan. And I looked at him in the fourth quarter, and I was like, dude, what are you so worried for? This game's over. Oh, what are you talking about? I was like, this is where guys like Neil and I and Spenny, we look at this game differently from you guys, okay? Because our little hearts aren't involved. That game was over. It was just a question of when is Michigan going to score a touchdown to win 17-10, or are they going to get a field goal to win 13-10?
The offense was so bad. Like,
Right,
of course,
but-
I was clutching my pearls the
as
whole
bad
way.
as
Like,
it was,
it is what it is.
As
Like,
bad as it was, Ohio State's was worse.
Yeah.
Will
You-
Howard was awful.
You were in their head. So, like, Danny, I don't know what else. I think what people like Danny want us to do is tell you to make you feel better what a wonderful season it was, and it wasn't. But
Tell me I'm
congratulations on
pretty. Yeah.
beating Ohio State.
But this
I'm
made
pretty.
it tolerable.
It is still the best rivalry in college football. I stand on that. Tradition, history, all of it, okay? You got a huge win. But don't ask me to say that 7-5 is good. I can't do that. And I won't do that.
And this is the nature, too. Look around the country at the rivalry games, dude. Illinois was losing to Northwestern at the end of the first quarter. Missouri was in a drag out with Arkansas. We know what happened to Auburn, Alabama was a one-score game at halftime. Clemson lost to South Carolina. Purdue, they laid down. But Vanderbilt was up 10 points at the end of the first quarter against Tennessee. You saw it everywhere. Maryland was up on Penn State. It's hard. It's hard to win those games, man.
Absolutely.
It's difficult to win those games. Mississippi State had to lead over Ole Miss. Like, it's inexplainable, man, but it's what happens time after time after time. And again, props to Michigan, man. They won. I teased this before. I'm a sicko about the bowl games. It's depleted a lot like the punishment for Ohio State in the expanded playoff and the transfer portal era, which crushes my soul, but I still watch. I still watch the bowl game. I'm still tapping into the Bahamas Bowl. I don't care who's playing, who's not playing. I'm doing it. I'm still watching the RNL Carriers New Orleans Bowl. No. I don't care who's playing or not playing. But Sean, with all that said, you want to know one I saw? The Las Vegas Bowl, Michigan, Colorado.
Oh, I saw Michigan LSU.
Either way.
Music City Bowl. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue.
Either way.
That's great. I want to watch the Mayo dumped on somebody. I do. I yearn for that. Okay. No, I always, Neil, I've always laughed at this when snobby college football fan tells me that those games don't matter and why are you watching those games? And I always shoot back with, what's the matter? Don't you like college football? Because soon, very soon, and Neil, you made my heart hurt the other day. You really did. Neil sent us a text in our group message, and he goes, I can't believe the college football season's over. The regular season's over. Like, it's over. And like it like I sat there and, I held my heart for a little bit. But so are you kidding me? I want every single bowl game I can possibly watch. It is inconceivable that you can watch all of them, but if I have an opportunity to watch all of them, I'm with you. Gosh damn it, I want them on. And I know what it is. I openly admit I know what it is. And I openly admit that there are guys that are making business decisions, like the Michigan players, and I'm not going to begrudge them of that. I'm not going to. Good for you. Best of luck. I hope you get everything that you've worked your ass off for.
It makes no sense for you to play.
No, but I'm in.
If it were my son, I'd tell you don't play.
Well, yeah, that's different.
If I get a chance to go to whatever they're calling it bowl at Ford Field, I go every year. Now as you get older, sometimes the holidays are a little wacky and zany and everything, but if I get a chance to go, I go every damn year. It's college football.
A good friend of mine, when I was a younger chap, I heard him one day say on the radio, tell me you want less college football. Do you want more college football or do you want less college football?
Doesn't make sense.
And I was like, I'm driving around. I'm like, well, I want more college football.
I know that guy. At least I'm consistent, dude.
It was one of the more profound things I've ever heard said.
Yeah, it's about as deep as I get. Let's be honest. That's the way that I feel, and I'm never going to poo-poo games like that, man. And again, I know there are a lot of Michigan fans today. I always call it misguided anger. Okay, this season didn't turn out the way that you wanted. It's not Neil Rule's fault. It's not my fault. It's not KG's fault. It's not Spenny's fault.
I was going to say it's Spencer's fault.
But don't ask me to spit shine 7 and 5. I'm not going to do it for your team. I'm not going to do it for my team. I'm not going to do it to any team. All right? But this is where I say perception comes in. If you finish your season beating Michigan, and use one of those games. You go beat Dion. You go beat Brian Kelly. Okay? Is your perception about this season change? It should. All of a sudden, you're an 8-win team. Again, 8 and 5. Are we all going to play the back game? We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Remember the one year Texas went 9 and 4, and I think we can say Texas is back now, and I'm going like this.
What quarterback? I don't remember what quarterback.
You put your hooks up, and I'll do that. 9 and 4 isn't back. Okay, you guys know what back looks like because you've lived through it. 2021, you made it back. But to me, I don't know. 8 and 5, go beat Colorado.
Let's do it.
Go beat LSU in a bowl game.
Let's do it. Put a decent stamp on what was a disappointing year. That's
a perfect way to say it.
That's all I want at this point.
And yet at the same time, my friend to the right of me will go, well, wow, isn't that what Auburn did?
Yeah,
I mean that's something you're going to have to live with that being hung on you. Now down in Auburn they go, well, we won the Iron Bowl. That that's all that matters. But I think you can put. I like the way you said that, a decent stamp on this season. But Neil could say, okay, cool. Are you Gene Chizik now?
No.
Are you pick?
Give me the old Mike Ditka style sweater that Chizik would wear with the cursive Auburn on there.
And you can say that until we get it back. But like I said, I'll take this. It's just like the sell me this pen bit. Like you can sell me, okay, yeah, we were 7-5, but you beat both of your rivals. You went and won a bowl game, and you got the best recruit in the country. Okay, I can stomach it. I can tolerate it.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Smash the numbers. I would rather be Michigan than Ohio State right now. Woodward Sports chat
All the
thread.
pressure is on whole issue. Yeah.
Go Blue. Well, you're not a U of M fan, so okay. And you're not playing for the national championship, and Ohio State is. So I mean, they are. Like that's that's what brought the tone out. That wasn't me.
No, and you've done good. I want to give you your props. We've actually had a real conversation about my football team.
You've done good.
Neil, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you today. You don't know how long I've waited for this. But
Chuck Brewer, Neil, this team can't win in the playoffs. If you told me we had a legit chance to win the Natty, I'd take the playoffs over the OSU game. Yeah. Well, if you're not in, then you can't win.
Like
and if you are, you can.
Just going off what.
Well, I'm having some flashbacks. There was a magical time, KG, and you might remember it. And I hope and pray you weren't part of it. There was a magical time where a lot of people tried to devalue the Big Ten championship because you weren't winning it.
Yeah.
Now enough time has passed where I hope you're adult enough where you could say, yeah, I guess you're right. It sucked watching Michigan State win it a few times, and Ohio State winning it. And so what people said, and this was such horrible logic under the former regime is, well, you don't necessarily have to win your conference to get in the playoff. Alabama did it. Ohio State did it that one year. So you're using two examples out of what? 168 teams.
They were outliers.
They were exceptions to the rule. Well, now you know what? Now you don't have to win the Big Ten. If you want to get in, if you want to ensure your chances, go win the Big Ten. Okay, but you don't necessarily have to get in. So hearing a lot of people kind of change their tune is kind of funny. I got to be honest with you, because I had these conversations with you guys. I had these conversations during the Hoke era and in the early part of the Harbaugh conversation where you guys couldn't win the Big Ten. And I was told, trademark Neil Rule, well, you don't necessarily have to win the Big Ten to get in the playoff. Yeah. So now, are we really devaluing getting into the playoff? Because there's no possible way you guys thought in those years where you weren't good enough to beat Ohio State or Michigan that you guys were really going to go win the national championship, right?
Yeah.
So we're now, fast forward when it's applied to you, are there really living, breathing organisms that are telling me it's not important to get into the playoff? I'm sorry, you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth, guys.
Not saying that at all.
That's an issue. That's an issue to me, Neil.
Or a Fitness in the chat. Happy holidays. Y'all think my Canes can still make the playoffs? No, they lost 2 of their last 3. They're not in the ACC championship game. The winner of the ACC championship game's going, and if they're going to take a second ACC team, it's going to be the team that also made it.
I told y'all about SMU. We had that conversation a couple months ago, man. Now, did I think it would be the Canes that fell flat on their face? No. But
they did.
Yep. They did.
Miami.
Yeah, SMU's in the playoff, man. Think about that. That is nuts.
Woodward Sports chat thread, DNC, ENT, I mean, conference championships means absolutely nothing anymore. No, DNC, and you're right, but until they do, and that depends on your narrative, like if you want to control the teams that get in the playoffs, and then you can, quote, value it.
Right.
Yeah, I bet Indiana wishes they had a chance at the Big Ten championship.
Right.
Actually, I think that they're
in.
I think they're better off they don't.
You think they're in?
Because what would happen if they played Oregon?
Get
They'd
destroyed.
lose.
Yeah.
Would they get clapped?
So it's going to be what, Oregon? Who is the Big Ten
Penn
championship?
State.
Oregon, Penn State.
Yeah. So they're both in. They're both in. Ohio State's in.
And Indiana.
They're going to get the 4. They're always going to get 4.
Penn State's got 2 losses or 1 loss?
1 loss.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're in.
Honestly, and now we're starting to see some of the holes in this thinking. if you're Indiana or Notre Dame right now, aren't you? You got a big smile on your face.
100%.
Salivating.
Huge.
And
By the way, this is the
James
same Notre
Franklin might
Dame
get bailed out.
that the entire nation made fun of when they lost to Northern Illinois.
Yeah. And Sean, and Notre Dame's guaranteed a home game.
Yep.
And they don't even play in a conference.
Yep.
I hate Notre Dame.
They always win.
They do.
Even when they lose.
They suck.
Even when they lose, they always win.
Well, let me tell
It's kind
you.
of like a haircut at Lady Jane's.
Let me tell you about where you can win no matter what, and that's a haircut at Lady Jane's. Walk into any of our great locations, scan that QR code in the corner, and you can get a $20 haircut. Where else are you going to get a $20 haircut? Lady Jane's, it's not just a haircut, too. Comes with a hot lather neck shave, a scalp massage, and a hot towel treatment. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in any day, anytime, 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
I categorically.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger over a T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a deal, relax with some hydro massage feels. Instead of in-laws in your face,
Did you hear the owl?
get some space at any of our 2,600 locations with the PF Black Card. Just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Neil Rule here for Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use promo code Woodward1000. Here's how it works. Scan the QR code on your screen. Create your account. Make your first deposit with the promo code Woodward1000. Make your first bet. And if your first bet loses, they will give your bet back as a free bonus bet. That's right. You got nothing to lose, everybody. You'll get it back either way. If you win, great, you got it. If you lose, they'll give it back to you as a free bet. Again, that's only with the promo code Woodward1000. The app is flawless. It's impeccable. Live betting. I'm just saying, yesterday, when the Vikings were 5-1 underdogs, we all knew how that was going to end, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knew it. You could have jumped right in there on Caesar Sportsbook and got it done in real time. The app's not going to glitch on you. It's not going to crash. None of that stuff. It's flawless. So again, Caesar Sportsbook, that's the ticket, everybody. It's easy to navigate. They have all the betting markets. Anything you want to get down on, you can with Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Keeping it pushing, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for DMAC, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you.
Can I have one little rebuttal?
Yes.
Who was it that said conference championships don't mean anything anymore?
In the chat, DNC ENT.
Okay. It's been devalued, but I categorically deny that it doesn't mean anything anymore. And I think look no further than like the ACC. Look no further than the Big 12. Look no further than some of those positions right now. Miami gives itself a chance to automatically get in the playoff if they can find a way to win the ACC. A 2-loss Miami isn't going to get into the playoff.
Right.
Or at least their chances are very minuscule right now. Yeah. And I guess I could say the same thing about the Big 10. So no doubt, it isn't as important. It was life or death under the previous way that we did it. It really was. It was life or death. It isn't as important. It's no doubt about it been devalued. But I think, Neil, it's still a bigger thing when you talk about the lesser conferences, when you talk about an ACC, because that way the one-loss Indiana, the one-loss SMU, that team that seemingly comes out of nowhere. How about the Iowa? You know, we're overdue for the Kirk Ferentz, right? And that's what it is.
I'm starting to think it's never going to happen again.
It's the first three. It's every 3 or 4 years, you know.
Like the Olympics.
Yeah, it's like, you know, one of those
like
comments. It's like, set
like
your
a leap
watch.
year.
I think the Ferentz is coming this year. Right. You know, you're gonna have the Ferentz, and you know what? It's gonna help Iowa get in one of these years, we think. So I agree with you. It's now devalued winning the conference championship, but to say that it's meaningless, I disagree completely with that. And I think the Big 12 and the ACC will show that out.
Skydog 722, Neil, let's not pretend Michigan has a chance whether they get in or not. Well, did they have a chance Saturday?
Not according to everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You play. Hey, sometimes when you play, the other team, no matter what you do, you're going to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you line up with someone mentally small like Ryan Day. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to be in. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Give me the T-shirt. Give me the T-shirt. Hey, how about this? Get the home game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, get yourself a shot.
What if Ohio State has a home game? And it's not out of the realm of possibility,
No,
I might add.
Certainly it's not.
What if Ohio State has a home game? So you're gonna have that crazy 95,000 people in that stadium.
Say Georgia loses the SEC game.
In
Ohio
Big
State,
Ten
Georgia.
weather, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what I'd like to see these teams come up here and play in December?
Well, you're going to get it.
You could get it. Yeah, I want that. I want that. I want the chance. I'd rather have a chance than have no chance at all. One man's opinion.
Neil, if you was there, you wouldn't fire him? Because I know you keep. Well,
What, today?
You're making not today. I'm just saying. But if he goes to the playoffs and loses, no matter how it looks,
I gotta see
if you were the AD, you would fire him.
what's the plan. I gotta see what I have. What's the plan? That's my question.
I get you.
What recruits are attached?
Do you know
to
what
it?
But you
I
now
do?
have 4 years of data of a guy that can't win in big games.
I would.
No. Can't beat Michigan.
Well, yeah, but also he's had misfortunes in the playoff as well.
I would scroll further down. I would go from the D's to the M's in my phone and ask Urban Meyer how his health was. And if there
Hey,
was
how you
any
doing,
chance
buddy?
that Urban Meyer would want to come back. And then I would throw whatever it took to get Urban Meyer. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And I'm not now again, here's the scenario, and this is where I thought you were going with it. Ohio State plays a home game and loses to Georgia. Okay? Gone.
Yeah.
Like for me,
Yeah.
gone. I don't care if you got our standards are higher.
Exactly.
Our standards are higher. Getting into the playoff is great, but you lost a home game that you were favored in against an inferior Michigan team, and you lost a home game that presumably you'll be favored in against Georgia.
Yep.
Gone. Sorry, our standards are higher than that. And then I beg Urban Meyer to come back. And Urban Meyer's ego would probably bring him back. That's the worst part.
I can see it.
That's the worst. And then we all crap our pants.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Steve O'Baby. Neil, can I say something? Sure, go ahead. Hey, Michigan fans, accept the reality. You're not playing for a Big Ten championship. You're not playing in the college playoffs. Deal with 7-5, and it's not good enough. And KG said that.
Yeah, nobody's denying that.
Yeah,
The
nobody's
problems-
denying
you
The
did.
problems are the problems.
Right.
Yeah, I'll give you credit for
But
that,
I
KG.
feel better than I did yesterday about this team and the future of it.
Dad with Tourette's, another point. If conference championships meant anything, Notre Dame would have joined one long ago. Dad with Tourette's, Notre Dame is probably one of the maybe 3 brands in America that can survive on their own without a conference.
You got it.
They don't, and look, they make the same money-ish that a Big Ten team makes from their own deal with NBC, but you know what you don't have if you're in a conference? Control. And guys, I'm going to tell you this. From working in college sports for over a decade, here's the deal with, I'm going to pull the curtain back for everybody right now. You know what everybody in college sports loves more than money? Control.
Yep.
They love the power of it. These administrators, everybody, these coaches, they love the power. They like the money too.
Yeah.
But they love the power. Guys, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I believe it.
And it's something that I never thought in a million, because I just like the money.
Yeah.
That's just me.
They almost go hand in hand, almost.
Almost, but there's
Yeah.
something about the power that just appeals to people more, it seems like, in college sports.
And I think, Dad, with Tourette's, the mistake that you're making is you're taking the exception and making it speak for the overall. Okay, because there are certain brands out there. Okay, Alabama losing to LSU in 2011. Anybody with half a brain in their head knew that Alabama wasn't done. And as fate would have it, who met for the national championship that year? It was a rematch of Alabama and LSU. That's Alabama. That is a luxury that is not going to be afforded to 99% of the teams out there. Ohio State was an exception to the rule. You're right. I'm not going to argue with that. I think the brands and Notre Dame are going to be afforded that luxury. But for other circumstances, such as the circumstances that we're speaking of in the ACC and the Big 12, it would be in your best interest to go and win the conference championship because you're playing with fire. And why are you playing with fire? Because some of those brands that we just talked about are who you're going up against. And that's what intrigues me about this year. What if a one-loss SMU who didn't win a conference is up there against a 3-loss Ole Miss, a 3-loss Alabama, a 3-loss Georgia?
Well, SEC.
What kind of decision is going to be made then?
Yeah.
The brands are going to win out. They are. That's the way it is. And I think that goes hand in hand with what Neil was just saying, okay?
You're not watching Boise State. You're going to watch Alabama.
Guys,
you want me to say it? That's what it is.
I don't know what to tell you. That's why.
You've proven it.
Devalued 100%. But we can't use Alabama and Georgia and Notre Dame. I remember, Neil, Jack Swarbrick gave the former AD at Notre Dame, gave this long-ranging interview maybe 13, 14 years ago when there was the latest round back then of trying to push Notre Dame into a conference. And he said, I have a feeling eventually we're going to have to make that decision. But until we do, why should we?
And that goes into the
We're
chat.
still living that day right now.
Thomas Perry says, we don't need the money to join a conference, although honestly I think it'll happen before much longer. I think they'll go to the Big Ten if and when they do. There's no reason to.
There's no reason to.
They got their own deal with NBC that pays them more money, and they have the control. Like, why would you leave that?
It makes no sense
You
to
can
me.
lose to Northern Illinois and still get in the playoff.
And Swarbrick knew it, and it's funny because much like the ND fan just said, he said the same thing. He said, I think pretty soon we're going to have to do it. 13, 14 years later, here we are. We're still having that conversation.
Yeah, it'd be
and
dumb.
Notre Dame is in a very favorable position. After everybody in the college football world was laughing at them for losing to the Northern Illinois Huskies.
It's almost as
Here we are.
laughable as the people that were saying the Big Ten should hand down suspensions to players from Ohio State and Michigan. They're getting ready to go to the playoff.
Yeah.
The Big Ten's not suspending anybody from Ohio State.
Right.
Like, come on, people, get in the real world. I love it, too. They didn't even try to hide it. They're like, hey, we're fining them both $100,000. We're done talking about it. See you later.
Yep.
Like, you're not suspending guys from a playoff run, dude. No way. That'd be like getting suspended from second best.
Yeah.
Like, come on, what are we talking about, dude? It's the best spot out there. You're not getting suspended from there. 42 Watson Street. Ha ha! A couple blocks away from LCA. That's what I sound like after about 4 Tullamore Dew Irish whiskeys down there at second best. But it's all good, man. The good times roll on. 42 Watson Street. Guys, it's a premier spot. Hey, I'm going to the Pistons game tomorrow night. I'm pulling up to second best before. I just am. That's the way that it's going to go down, everyone. Second best, 42 Watson Street. We're doing it. The Woodward Sports pregame show on home Sunday games. We're out there, myself and Sean Belesian. Elite chicken wings, elite food, good drinks, good times, a great spot. Second best. Come get some.
And let me tell you about the Salvation Army. When you give to the Salvation Army, your donation makes it possible to serve our community's most vulnerable. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The Salvation Army of Metro Detroit's 2024 Red Kettle Christmas campaign fundraising goal is $7 million. Your contributions will help provide love beyond Christmas to individuals in need of food, shelter, and compassion. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to donate.sagreatlakes.org to donate. It's the Salvation Army. You know they've been doing it forever. Make sure you help out when you can.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Neil Rule here for New Holland Brewing Company. That's right, local Michigan company over there on the west side of the state. They put out bangers like Taller, the Dutch long drink. It's a mix of their New Holland small batch gin, parlay with a little grapefruit puree, and boom, there it is, the most electric drink in the drinking game today. If you guys haven't gotten on this yet, I'm telling you, Total Wine, Meyer has it. Scoop up, just get a 6-pack, and then send me a tweet saying thank you, because it is incredible. We won't broadcast. It's in Sean and I's contract. We won't broadcast without him here on a football Sunday.
No, sir.
We won't. I get the Norma Ray sign union. I put that up there, and I will not talk on the air. I'm telling you guys, that's the way it is.
I've seen it.
Hey, I will. Don't sleep on their bourbon, by the way. New Holland Brewing Company, the beer barrel bourbon's elite as well. They got it popping over there, man. West side of the state. Roll on through there. New Holland Brewing Company. No one's doing it better. All right, hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belesian, KG, Spencer Racksta. Already an hour in the books, which is incredible. We talk Michigan, Ohio State, Big Ten football, the playoff, all of it. Don't miss it. If you're more of a podcast person, that's fine. iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Big D Energy is there as well. And we were talking about it. DNC-ENT, I mean, I'm watching Boise. DNC-ENT, so am I. But we're not normal.
Right.
You know what I'm talking the masses.
I can't tell you how many times, Neil, some of those less than bowl games turn out to be unbelievable games too. Like I always bring this one up. There was a game on New Year's Eve, 04, 05, like
Peach Bowl?
Boise State and Stefan LaFour's
Louisville,
and
the
Louisville.
Liberty Bowl.
It was
epic.
Like, it was awesome.
The over-under on that game was 79.
I was like literally sitting there watching this game, and everybody's going, "Dad, it's almost New Year's." And I hear everybody singing, and I'm just watching this game because Stefan LaFour's is doing sign language to his deaf family, and that was one of the big stories during the year. It was like, I can't tell you how many of those games, and that's why I kind of laugh sometimes at some of the snobbery. Like it's just like, oh, okay, you're not a college football fan. That's okay. We can roll on like that. But I'll say the same thing. As a Michigan State fan, 7-5. I wish my team was going to a bowl game.
Yeah,
I do. I wish my team was going to a bowl game.
Facts.
Woodward Sports Chat thread, Patrick, the Hawaii Bowl, literally for me. Patrick, I'm going this year.
hey.
That's awesome.
Look, I'm crushed that I'm going to be gone for Christmas. Like, it's starting to set in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to the Hawaii Bowl. I will set it aside for a couple hours to go to the Hawaii Bowl. I watched that. You know how many toys I put together watching the Hawaii Bowl? How many drinks I had?
You done made it, Neil.
And now I'm going to be there.
You there.
And I'm making a sign. I'm going to be that guy with the sign in the crowd that says temperature 82, wind chill 80. Mm-hmm. I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see if I know anybody out there. I'm gonna have them put me on the camera too. And they'll be like, look, there's Neil. I was tapped into the Hawaii game Saturday. We beat the piss out of Toledo on Saturday night, and we were rolling back. On the bus, and I was watching the Hawaii game on my phone, crying. That's when I sent you the text because it all came over. No more midnight Hawaii games.
You were crying.
Yep. It hit me. It just washed over me, man.
Yeah.
So it was wild. Art Vandelay, Hawaiian shirt, Neil. I'll rock one.
We have to accentuate the positives, though. I mean, the first hour went by so quickly, and that means one less hour until we have to wait to watch America's quarterback on primetime television tonight as well.
I forgot.
Do you know how? See, I'm trying to bring you joy in your darkest moment. Being able to watch Jameis Winston on primetime television tonight. I'm excited. Like, it's like I asked my son, what am I rolling with tonight? And he was like, Dad, can you pick up some beef short ribs? I can do some beef short ribs for a Monday night game because America's quarterback is playing.
You should do crab leg.
I really should.
You should do
Well,
crab
I'm not
legs.
buying them. I mean, when I go buy my beef short ribs, I'm
put
going
them in your shirt. There you
put
go.
them underneath my shirt. There's nothing here.
Lucky Belafonte, you guys going to talk Lions today? Yes, we are in 7 minutes. 7 minutes we are, and we're going to probably rocket the rest of the way. Mike G, wait a minute. Oakland won a basketball game? Yes, we beat the 4-time defending MAC champions, Toledo Rockets. Beat them by 30.
You don't just go down to Savage Hall and come away
No.
with a victory either.
Absolutely not. It was a big win. We are back. But hey, if we lose Thursday, it was all a wash anyway.
It was gonna be a wash.
Yeah. So Spenny,
Yes.
your thoughts on Saturday?
It was a failure of a season. My team is poverty, and if they don't make a bowl game next year, Jonathan Smith should be fired.
Damn. Already.
Moving on. No,
Yes.
3 years without a bowl game is
unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. You can't happen. It's poverty. Everybody's saying MSU's poverty. They're right. Team is complete dog shit. Sean has said it multiple times. They showed no signs of progression throughout the season. And if they don't make a bowl
Give him
game
the bell
next
for that
year,
one.
he should be
I got
fired.
you.
Flat out. You can't miss a bowl game 2 years in a row. You can't. It's
That was
impossible.
my problem with it. It never got better. I kept being at the beginning of the year. I kept being told, "Well, Aiden Childs, he's 18, 19 years old. He'll put it together." It never changed. You could set your watch to it.
It was a cult this year. That's why I called it the cult of Childs. It really was. It was. I had that conversation. It was like there was a wall there, and I would say, "You're right. He's 19."
But wouldn't you put this more on him and not Jonathan Smith?
No,
Like,
all
what is Jonathan Smith at fault for is what I would say.
watching the team regress. I'll go back to Wink Martindale and your defense.
Got you.
Your defense went like this.
Yep.
Okay. To me, the sign of something good is when you're at a low point and the arrows are flying from everywhere and you're able to go like this.
Mm-hmm.
That told me a lot about Wink Martindale. And I'm serious. I don't think enough people are saying it, okay? Because I heard from your fan base ad nauseum about how this guy's a bum. It's
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Blitz all over again, blah, 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 all that stuff, okay? I watched Michigan State on multiple levels go like this.
Mm-hmm.
And the non-competitive stuff, all right? How many moments of absolutely non-competitive did we see down the stretch?
A lot.
I was at that Indiana game. They were non-competitive.
Damn.
They jumped out to that 10-0 lead, and then it was non-competitive. The Rutgers game was non-competitive. That's going in a different direction. That terrifies me. I like Jonathan Smith. I'm going to say it again. I'm not ruling out that Aiden Childs can't have some metamorphosis, okay? What I am saying, definitively, is the same thing that I've been saying for 2 months. He isn't good right now.
No.
He isn't.
No.
And it's like, why can't people say that, Neil? It's just like
I have no problem saying
it's
that.
really, but that's why I said that you're not being fair. I'm not here to be fair, especially when a guy's being paid $833,000 a year.
You were brought in here to win games. You did not win games. He has no pocket presence, no awareness in
None.
the pocket.
A turnover
He's a
factory.
turnover factory. He tries to do too much, and he is not decisive enough when he gets out on, breaks out of the pocket, because I will cut him the littlest bit of slack that our offensive line was terrible, so that definitely plays a factor into it. But when they give him time and he's standing back there bouncing around, he rolls out, bounces on the corner a little bit, instead of tucking the ball and getting 5 yards with his legs, which he can, he gets sacked from behind and it causes a fumble. He needs to be more decisive, and he needs to make better decisions, and those are things that will happen with experience and with age, hopefully.
You're right.
But I didn't see him progress at all this year in it, and that's on coaching. That's on them not telling him the right things. That's on them not making sure that he is focused on making a one-read decision, and if his one read isn't open, you tuck the ball and run. It was a complete failure of a season on every aspect. The offense, the defense, the coaches, the quarterback, completely awful. You cannot go without a bowl game 3 straight years.
Can't.
You're Purdue. You are Purdue right now.
Bingo.
And it's frightening to me because, and I had this conversation with a particular big, you would know who he is. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, so I won't. Somebody who follows the team very closely, and he said, well, wait a second. didn't you say 6-6 at the beginning of the year? And I said, yes, I did say 6-6. What we don't know about this, two things. Number one, expectations change. I think that's we can fall back on that.
Thank you.
And two, how did it happen? Was this a team that was fighting and just golly gee came up short? Or was this a team that fell flat on their face and the coaching staff couldn't get them back up? Even the win against Purdue, you guys, that was unwatchable. That was awful. And they gave Ryan Walters, they gave him every chance in the world to win that game. And they were so bad, they refused to take those chances and go win that game. I agree with you, Spenny, that's a failure. And don't get, well, they only came one game off of where you wanted. I don't know. You tell me. Did you watch that team the last month of the year?
It's embarrassing.
How did you feel about that? It was awful.
And the crowd, the fans spoke. Did you see that crowd?
Yeah.
I saw that on social media. I was like, wow, dude, that's it? Like for a game that determines the season? And look, that's the exit State's at on the highway right now.
Yeah.
Where they needed to go to that bowl. And the fans told you what they thought as well. It's not good enough, man. Woodward Sports chat thread, Chuck, Spenny standing on business. Spenny stands on business, man. 100%. Mike G, Spenny, that's harsh. Yeah. It's accurate.
It's not harsh. It's not harsh.
It's fact.
They're saying he should be fired next year if he doesn't get to a bowl game is harsh. It's not harsh. Getting to a bowl game is not hard to do when you're Michigan State.
More go than don't.
More go than don't.
Even
Michigan to get to. This is the third consecutive year they have gone without a bowl game. If you go 4 years in a row, 2 of them being you, without a bowl game, you should be fired. It's a bowl game. I'm not asking him to go undefeated. I'm not asking him to win double-digit games. A fucking bowl game. 7 games. You got to win 7 games. That's not hard to do.
I'm
when
a
you're
firm
Michigan
believer.
State.
I'll take it a step further. I'm a firm believer. I think if you consider yourself a relevant program, 8 should be the bare minimum for you.
Yeah.
8 and 4 should be
in a sport where you control your schedule.
You want to talk about how big and bad you are and how good you are. To Neil's point, when you can load up your out of conference with some of the patsies that everybody, I'm not calling out one or the other, when you can roll with Florida Atlantic and Prairie View A&M, when you can roll with those types of games, you know what? You better take care of business. And Spenny, I'll tell you what, and KG, I know this is going to put a smile on your face, but I'm going to say it anyway. Michigan broke them.
Yeah.
They weren't the same after the Michigan game.
No, I'd agree.
They weren't.
They should have won that game, and they gave it away.
Yeah.
They should have won Boston College, and they gave it away.
And they got, let me remind people, they got their asses kicked from that point on. They lost by 37 to Indiana, by 22 at Illinois, and, of course, the debacle that we saw this past weekend.
And they barely beat Purdue.
It was awful. It was unwatchable. That game was awful.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right, so I wanted to touch on it. I wanted to give Spenny the audience because he was consistent all year long.
Yeah.
All year long. And I echo his sentiments. You can't not be in a bowl, man. Like, what are we talking about here, dude? What are we talking about?
And I feel Spenny because I'm about to be the same way with Bryce. Like, you making the money, you gotta perform.
And well, that's not a today discussion.
Yeah,
but that's a discussion over the summer, getting into the season.
It's fair.
It's different, and I'll be consistent with it.
Yeah.
Like Aiden Childs, you cannot be Turnovers Inc. Every time you punch in every day. Like you slide down the dinosaur tail of Turnovers Incorporated after the game's over, man.
It's silly.
Like, come on, dude.
I'm terrified, and I know we talked about it a couple months ago. It was after the Michigan game. I'm terrified of his lack of feel in the pocket.
Yeah.
Like we should all.
Yeah.
Everybody should be terrified.
Well,
of that.
and
If you're a
here's
Michigan
the
State
thing.
fan, you should all be terrified.
To wrap this up, the Johnson. What is the plan B? Like, I feel like all the chips are in the middle of the table right now on this.
Well, you can still fall back on Sam Levitt.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk.
He looked pretty damn good.
Can we talk Lions when we come back? All right, but we're talking Lions the rest of the way, I promise you. I do one Red Wings thing, all right, but that'll be later.
Yep.
We have to have a come to Jesus, I think, about the Lions.
I was there at the Red Wings game. Billy Husso fucking sucks.
It's over.
I was
been
so
over.
I was so
I mean,
pissed
it was
off.
already over once.
I saw him getting some warm-ups. I was like, oh, God, please tell me he's not playing. And I saw Kemp Talbot, and I was like, okay, good. And then Kemp Talbot goes out after the first. I was like, Jesus Christ, we lose.
Damn.
That was a tough.
Damn, G.
I was in and out of the car, like listening on the radio, and every time I came out of the car, Every time I would leave the car, they were winning, and then I'd come back to the car and they were losing. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, it was a fun game to watch for sure, but I knew it was over when I saw.
All right, tell them about Mark White.
Mark White, you looking to buy or sell your home? Mark White will save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. Just visit him at markwhitesells.com or call him at 248-290-8242. Markwhitesells.com. Again, he'll save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs. Mark White looking to get you into your dream home.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for FeldmanAuto.com. That's right, 18 Feldman Automotive locations in and around the Metro Detroit area. We know about Feldman Chevrolet and Novi because they're Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the nation's #1 EV dealer as well. But what if you want a Ford? What if you want a Kia? Any other branded car? Feldman's got a dealership that represents that brand also. All you have to do, go to your computer, go to FeldmanAuto.com, find the kind of car you want. You can even start the buying process online. I got my car in a little over an hour and a half. I said, all right, this is the one I want. I have the keys in a little over an hour and a half. Think about that. That doesn't happen really anywhere else. They're the best in the game. They've been around forever. They do great work in the community with the Children's Miracle Network Hospital as well. So again, they are Detroit, everybody. FeldmanAuto.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for D-Mac. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread as well. Appreciate all your thoughts and contributions. Skydog722, Neil, did the loss to Michigan kill Michigan State season more than we thought? I would say the third shift they added to Aiden Child's Turnovers, Inc. That ran all season long probably had a little more to do with it, in my opinion. All right, Lions, Packers, short week. I mean, not for the Lions because they played Thursday. And look, this is going to be a discussion of extremes, Sean, with me. And I think this week, the relevant storyline isn't an X and O thing to me. It's pretty apparent what the deal here is with the Lions. They're signing Jamal Adams off the street to play the edge, from what I've heard, like outside linebacker edge role. I mean,
he can play in the box.
Again, I get it. Yeah. But with all that being said, like, they are literally signing guys that will be out there off the street right now. The injury thing is incredible. Now, look, I'll give Dan Campbell credit. I listened to his weekly thing on the flagship this morning, and he you know how he is. He's not going to hide behind it or anything like that. They expect to win the football game. I expect them to win the football game. If they don't, I'll be disappointed. But, Sean, like, at what point? I mean, Jesus, man. Go down the list.
Yeah, it's a long list.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago, guys, of the three of us. And I think Suspenny may have been there that day as well. It was one of the post-game or pregame shows, and at some point in time, we have to start wondering when this catches up to the Lions, because what has been happening kind of boggles the imagination. And obviously it almost caught them on Thursday because, again, look, you're going to lose to inferior teams in the National Football League. It happens every single year. I don't care who it is. It's going to happen. And the likelihood that the Lions were going to roll to, a 16-1 record and everything, as much as we all sat back and said, man, I don't see a loss on the schedule, and we all did. I think we all also said, well, they're probably going to mix in a loss or two. Now, Neil, we have to wonder aloud, okay, how much is this going to hurt? And I know that some of the guys are going to be coming back, but you cannot conceivably, in the National Football League, endure the type of injuries that they have and expect status quo. You can't. Now, I'm hoping they turn up the heat on offense. I hope this is for you, Neil. I hope this is a June Jones special when he was at Hawaii. We have no defense, but we are just going to score at will because we have to score at will. And that's where we're at right now, because defensively, I mean, honest to goodness, you guys, look at what they have at their disposal right now, KG.
But AG making it work.
He is, and he deserves his flowers for it. But when you start pulling guys off the street, there's a reason they're on the street.
You definitely get that. And I would, challenge the offense to go out there and put a better game together just to take some of the pressure off of that defense, because the offense hasn't been 100% the last couple weeks, and I think we've all realized that. But, I mean, until proven otherwise, AG has been able to get these guys off the street, come in here, get them ready for game day, and it's worked to this point. And I know you can't hit 100% all the time, but just the fact that you are able to coach up the depth that you have and then go out and get people who aren't in the system and who have to pick up this thing on the fly, he's been able to do that. I mean, look at David Long last week. He came in and made an impact in the game. Was it a huge impact? No. But if you can get that out of a Quan Alexander, out of a Jamal Adams, then I think that goes a long way, man. And these are veteran guys as well, which will only help your younger guys as well. So,
and making plays is contagious. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, you've seen it with this team. And you come in and all of a sudden, man, I got the same disease he has. I'm making plays left and right.
All right, in the Woodward Sports chat thread, here's the one thing I do want to battle against. And Stephen Baffey, you're a valued member of the Woodward Sports community.
And comes the disrespect.
But Quan is going to be a similar performer to Zadarius Smith. Guys, you're thinking about years ago right now. These guys were not on regular rosters, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Quan will be a good player that will step in and get a handful of snaps a game, and if there's a play presented to him, I'm sure he'll make it. David Long Jr. is going to be more important going forward than Quan Alexander.
And everyone just thinks, because it goes to the fantasy football angle of it all.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting these guys when they were good performers. You know what I'm saying?
They were out there for a reason.
More than you know.
They were available for a reason.
Do you remember Rudy Johnson, Rudy with an eye?
Oh, no.
I will never forget when the Lions got Rudy with an eye. And people were literally, pants were dropping all over city. And I'm going, that dude passed away 2 years ago. Like, he did. This was a guy, ran so hard, and then all of a sudden, man, when the legs go, everything goes. We got a guy that was a shell of his former self. But you know what? I think, Neil, to your point, people see the name and go, oh, can you believe we got Rudy with an eye Johnson? It was like, dude, he's shot. It's not. There's a reason why these guys sit on the street. There is. Now, again, is there an exception to the rule? Let's hope that one of these guys are an exception to the rule. But let's think about the National Football League. These are the best football minds. These are the best talent evaluators. If a guy isn't on a roster, there's a reason he isn't on a roster.
I was just going to say, and Quan Alexander has never been an edge rusher in his career. He's an off-ball linebacker. Yeah. If you expect him to come in here and have 50 sacks,
right.
I don't know who you're looking at, but that's not the position he plays.
But when you fire up that watch party.
Yeah. These guys are going to be special teams demons, Quan Alexander and Jamal Adams, and they're going to get a handful of snaps a game.
And you hope they do something.
Yeah, much as we saw Ben Neiman or Trevor Nowaski or Jalen Reeves-Maymon getting those snaps when Alex Anzalone, Malcolm Rodriguez, and and Jack Campbell are healthy, now it's going to be your 1, 2, and 3 are Jack Campbell, David Long Jr., and Ben Neiman, and then you have Quan Alexander and Jamal Adams, who are going to play a lot of special team snaps and get a couple snaps on defense here and there. They're not going to be playing serious roles on this team. They're just depth linebacker pieces.
Blitz packages, stuff of that nature.
Woodward Sports Chat thread, DNC, ENT. Jamal ain't playing DA, and Dan was obviously trolling. He's going to play some outside linebacker.
He's going to play Sam. I could see him playing that Sam role for sure.
100%.
Yeah, because you're good at the safety role.
This is real.
Guys,
This is real.
Anakin Skyhoger, they have 18 guys on IR. 18.
Nuts,
and
man.
that plays into it, DNC. You see where we're coming from here? People are gonna be asked to do shit they've never done before because there's no other choice. There's literally nobody left. And Sean, I didn't bring it up on Friday when we did the show together because they figured out, they found a way. Chicago melted down. Now that we're here talking about it, there was a definitive shift in that game. I was stunned when they would get a stop in the second half. Stunned.
Yep.
I don't want to say same old Lions, but I was getting those similar vibes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no one left. There's nobody left, dude. Are they going to be able to get off the field? And largely in the second half, they were not.
And they weren't the same old lines on that last drive. I mean, let's be honest. Even if they didn't crap their pants, they got those big plays to push them back, man. I mean, they did. They got those big plays
really
to
in
stop
one quarter.
them. So, especially what was at their disposal, man. I mean, that's so in that regard. But now, guess what? The temperature gets kicked up. Because Green Bay wants nothing more than to come in here and put themselves right back in the conversation.
They playing
and
good
they
ball,
win.
too, right
They
now.
win on Thursday, and guess what? They're right back in the conversation. We have to deal with that.
No, we do. Hey, and if you're going through divorce, child custody, family law, all that stuff, you have to deal with it as well. And that's where you need KDK Law right here in Birmingham. Kevin and Catherine, they're excellence, and you need excellence on your side. They have 24/7 availability. If you're losing sleep at night, reach out, scan the QR code on the screen, mention Woodward Sports, and KDK Law will pay your filing fee. But guys, I'm here to tell you, look, that's cute and everything like that. This isn't about getting a filing fee paid for. This is about getting the result you have to have. Your marriage, your kids, everything's riding on it. So why would you not roll with KDK Law in Birmingham? 10 years experience in the game. KDK Law, the excellence you need on your side.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Are you overdue for a new car? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, the Blazer EV2LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month, or check out the Equinox EVLT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today or click the QR code on the screen and check out our massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale, lesstanford.com.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you. Appreciate everybody tapping into the show. We're having a good time. Do me a favor, push that like button if you want. There's over 1,000 of you watching right now, so if you could do that for me, that would be pretty cool. Real Cream of Wheat, Woodward Sports chat thread. Subscribe and you can get your thoughts out there. We're down to fifth stringers. Dozer, we need a mash unit on defense. No, and that's where I look, I'm not saying the expectations change. You got to find a way to win.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what Sean was saying a couple of minutes ago. Because the bottom line is, you lose this game to Green Bay. Look, they're not losing. Like Green Bay and Minnesota, they're finding a way to win.
Minnesota pissing me off. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's like Sam Darnold's playing badly, and they're still winning. Like
somehow.
Hey, whatever, man. But they are. So you got to deal with it. Because the bottom line, if the Packers lose, the division's dead for them. It's over. OVA.
Yep.
It's a wrap. They'll be 9-4. We'll be 12-1, and that's the end. See, now we're to the point, too, guys, where stuff starts to shake itself out, and you're at that point where you got to have this one. And people were talking about it in the chat. You have the luxury of losing the Buffalo game if you want to play that game.
No, for
you
sure.
know what I'm
We
saying?
talked about it last
opponent,
week.
yeah.
You can.
You have the luxury of losing the Buffalo game.
You still have tiebreakers in your. If you look down the list of tiebreakers, you still have the tiebreakers in your favor, including with Philadelphia. You still have that because you've got the conference thing, you've got strength of victory, you have strength of schedule. Yeah, you can check those boxes just in case you're tied as well. But hey, Neil, listen, and I know we're all talking about the number one spot, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't. You've earned your way into this conversation, right? I don't think we're talking enough about, I feel guilty saying this, and if you guys want to yell at me, you go right ahead, hanging on and winning this division. Because, again, I'm going to use what we were just saying, okay? Minnesota doesn't want to lose. They've got a quarterback who week in, week out looks like crap. Looks like crap, okay? All right? Let's find a way to finish this division off first, right? Now, if I were a betting man, would I still say Lions win the division? Yes, I would. And I would put a significant amount on it on Caesars, to be honest with you. But are we open now to the maybe it's not the given we thought it was even a week ago?
Yeah.
Can we have those conversations, Penny, Neil? I mean, can we have that conversation? Maybe the division isn't the given we all thought it was?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they are proving to
It's
be
'cause
the
the
best
fucking
division in
Vikings,
football.
man.
Yeah.
I hate saying it, but that's where we're at.
The
man.
Packers aren't going to catch us because we're not going to lose as many games as they already have.
I think we beat them on
Vikings-
Thursday too. I
Yeah.
mean that. I think we win this
Oh,
game.
I think we do too. And then the Vikings game is at home too, so I comfortably think we're going to win that game as well. Like, I don't think they're going to let Sam Darnold beat them in Ford Field, so I'm not too worried about the division.
Yeah.
The hardest matchup we have left in the division is on the road in Chicago.
right?
Yeah.
I will say, though, the 1 seed has become a concern.
That
it's
is a concern,
precarious.
for sure.
The-
Because the
precarious.
Eagles' only good team they play left is Pittsburgh.
They have 4 or 5 at home
Yeah.
to end the season.
And 2 of them are against the Commanders, or it's like they play
Yeah.
the Commanders.
Panthers,
the
Cowboys,
Yeah.
Giants.
Isn't that
What are
game
we
at
doing?
Commanders?
Yes.
I'm
that's the
hoping
road game.
Jaden
Hey,
just goes off.
I'm just saying,
Do
man.
us a favor, baby.
We need those two.
If Pittsburgh out here dropping 44 points on people, I'm
Gosh,
just
yeah,
saying,
they
Eagles,
looked good
watch
yesterday.
out.
We need Pittsburgh
I'm
to beat
just-
them, and we need
just
the
saying.
Commanders
Don't
to
worry,
beat
the
them.
Bengals will get hot any minute now.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Here
don't
they
worry.
come.
They'll be there. Yeah.
Here they come. Everything's okay.
Oh, well, hey, it's
No,
the
it's-
defense,
it's-
Sean. I don't know if you know this or
Yeah.
not. Never mind, he's got multiple turnovers in the second half, like every game for the last 5 weeks or whatever the number is. But don't worry. They'll be there.
Russell Wilson getting like those bionic legs too is so funny. He looks like
Yeah.
a different guy. And you know what? It's Tomlin magic again.
I swear.
And I know that we all had like a Mike
21 years.
We had a Mike Tomlin appreciation day back in the summer, but you know what? All he's done is rewarded us for our faith in that guy. It is amazing.
Mike
You
Tomlin's
just
the
go to
man.
Pittsburgh and things get better, man.
The last thing they needed is an offense that can actually put up points. That's been the problem in Pittsburgh this whole time. So if they can have outings like they had Sunday, I mean, watch the hell out. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch out.
No, it is. But 21 years in a row without a
that's-
losing record, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, tell me again how Mike Tomlin ain't a good coach.
Jeez.
There's people at this network.
I know, man.
You've talked to them.
Can we like at some point in time we're also going to have the conversation about the Ravens too? We do. We have to have that
I mean,
conversation.
the
whether you
conversation
want
is
it
they
or
probably
not.
gonna fold again.
Yeah,
we
it
all
is-
know it.
Well,
Like,
in 4 minutes, Sean, we're going to do it.
Okay,
What did
all
you-
right, I'm gonna shut up
What
then.
did you see? In 4 minutes, we'll do it. And because I think we do need to, because there was a lot. There was a lot of moving this weekend. Danny G, the NFL is wide open. Ransom, all those lunges for Russell are paying off.
the airplane legend.
You heard that
hated on
story,
it.
right?
Oh yeah.
You hated on it, Neil.
Well, it's Mike Tomlin. It ain't him.
Yeah, that's
Mike
true.
Tomlin got Kenny Pickett to the NFL playoffs.
That is a fact.
Kenny Pickett's probably the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
Hey, not to Mike Tomlin.
Right.
He'll figure out a way to get him in the playoffs.
That's fair.
Only
That's
to be
insane.
topped by Mitchell Trubisky.
That's insane. Mike O, hey, Neil, the Viking chick that slapped you was smiling yesterday. I'm sure she was.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Shout
she
out to
was.
her.
I was watching that game just knowing the
They
whole time.
gonna drop another couple games. You just feel like they will, but I don't know. They keep winning. It's annoying.
No, they do. And it is annoying, no doubt about it. The punters, Philly playing good ball, and they have an easier schedule than the Lions. No doubt.
Much
Copezilla.
easier schedule.
Packers are angry, have said they're looking forward to the rematch, and they are completely healthy. D. Boykin, the Vikings have been skating by. The Cardinals was whooping them all game and then gave it to them.
I swear.
Yeah.
Isn't that what fears? That's what brings fear to me.
Won't die.
Like when teams win like that. I say it again about the Chiefs. I'm watching that game just going, they just chiefed that game.
I swear. Yeah.
That's
the
why
Chiefs
I'm
with the
scared
Raiders.
shitless of the Chiefs. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm scared crapless of the Chiefs. I can't stress that enough. Because of crap like that.
Yep.
Aiden O'Connell nearly got him 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Brock Bowers almost single-handedly won that game for them.
Jeez,
Just saying.
Brock Bowers is the best tight end in the NFL.
And in fantasy. Shout out my fantasy team.
Yeah.
That
Man,
was the greatest pick I ever made.
Everyone's talking about them winning these games. Colts, Jaguars, Titans, Bears, Cardinals. All in one-score games. Oh, I'm sorry, the Titans.
Kevin O'Connell's a damn good coach.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Titans
gotta
were a
give him some
10-point game.
I
wasn't
agree
a
with
McConnell
that.
guy.
I don't
I gotta
think
give him
enough's
some
being
credit.
said about that.
Yeah.
They are home against the
what they gonna
Falcons,
do in the playoffs.
home against the Bears on Monday night, at Seattle, home against Green Bay, and then at Detroit.
I could see losses against Seattle, Green Bay, and then by the time the Detroit game, God forbid that means nothing to us.
See, I'm thinking the Bears could trip them too.
I'd feel better if it was at Soldier.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's. I told you guys all year that one terrified me. You guys, the Bears almost beat us twice last year. I mean, obviously they almost beat us this past Thanksgiving, and going to Soldier Field in December flat out sucks. You know, I mean
It
that's
does,
the
but-
reality of it. So that's another one that I'm
know.
terrified of.
They
I'm not gonna
spiraling
lie.
now. You on the interim coach now. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a different. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
They really only beat us in one quarter in that game. I
Yeah.
mean, that fourth quarter wasn't the best. But
All right, let's do this. Let's take the break because I do want to take a look around the NFL because it is a Monday, so we have to see what did you see in the NFL on Sunday.
I know what I saw.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We got to do it. Let the fans watch.
Let the fans watch the live watch
They need to
party
learn.
here
what
at
I'm bringing up,
Woodward Sports. Make sure you tap in because we're doing it every week. Normally it is live at Hey Social on Sundays, but obviously it's a home game this week, or it's a Thursday night game this week. So they're gonna be there Thursday. I believe it'll be Sean and Neil in there for the live watch party at Hey Social, and then the post game show, as always, is Stick and Anson. Make sure you tap in. This is presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila. And let me tell you about Jars Cannabis. You ready to re-up? Hit the www.shopjars.com or stop by your nearest Jars location today. Follow at Jars Life on Instagram or tap in the latest drops, deals, and updates. Don't forget, you must be 21 and plus with a valid ID to shop. Please consume responsibly. Busy day, no worries. Jars has option to fit your schedule. You can stop in store, order curbside pickup, or get delivered right to your door. Jars is making the cannabis buying experience easier than ever. So tap in at shopjars.com.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger over a T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a deal, relax with some hydro massage feels. Instead of in-laws in your face,
Did you hear the owl?
get some space at any of our 2,600 locations with the PF Black Card. Just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th.
Big Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
We already told you Soroki's was taking over Michigan. Check out their new Fenton and Heartland locations today. Don't miss out on their grand opening events in Fenton on December 5th and in Heartland on December 12th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Enjoy exclusive giveaways, a chance to win free Soroki's for a year, and the cheapest gas in the state. Come out and enjoy fun food and unbeatable deals at Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza.
All right, coming down the stretch on a Monday, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule and Sean Belesian and KG and Spencer Raxter and all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Make sure you subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Over 73,000 of you have, by the way. Thank you for that. It just continues to pop. Starting to make our push towards 500,000 social media followers as well. It's all insane, all of it. So thank you guys. We do appreciate it. Jump into that chat. Alan W. Y'all can call me a bad person for this, but we better hope Saquon gets a high ankle sprain or something if we want that number 1 seed. Dude, as we do the what did you see in the NFL over the weekend, which is a tribute to Sean Belesian. When he's here, I say it that way. When I'm here, I just say, let's go around the NFL. But it's the same thing. But, hey, I got to pay tribute. It's like the old country. Sean, I do want to start with that. Saquon Barkley, man. And I know that everyone's touching themselves over Josh Allen's touchdown lateral reception yesterday. But bottom line, man, Saquon Barkley has come in there and changed the entire Eagles organization.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's really interesting because I go back to the beginning of this year, and some of us, raise his hand, says I still worry about Philly. And what I don't think we even took into consideration was the Saquon Barkley effect on that team. And it isn't just what he's doing on the field. He's a good cat. Yeah. Like Saquon Barkley's a good cat. I don't know if you saw that video making the rounds. When you know, Sirianni walked up to him on the bench and said, "You want to stay in? You're only 13 yards away from your career high." I mean, he goes, "No, I want the pups to eat. Give the kids a chance." Man, that's a window into the soul type of stuff, man. Like, to me, that's like,
I think it let you into that locker room too.
Right. That's a dude that gets it. And I think they probably needed some of that. The way they fell off last year is still remarkable. You guys, they look by far and away, a year ago, this day, they look by far and away the best team out there. Mm-hmm. And then something broke. Remember when San Francisco absolutely dismantled them? Something broke and they just never got it back. And that's what happens. But guess what? Stella got her groove back. She did. She went down to the Bahamas. She had sex with a bunch of young guys. Yeah. In particular, and Mama's got her mojo back, right? And that's exactly
Tay Diggs, but.
No, seriously, Stella got her groove back, and that's what's happened with Philly right now. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Do I still like the Lions' chances? I do. I still like the Lions' chances. I'm going to say what I said last week, and some of you got mad at me for the idea of going to Philadelphia terrifies me. I hear you. And if you want to be big, bad, tough guy, I ain't scared. All right, Jim Schwartz, you're big and bad and tough. I am scared of going to Philadelphia on a 10-degree day in front of a maniac crowd. I'm scared. I want nothing to do with that. Thank you very much.
Cock Diesel. Let's go, man.
Lots of talk about Stella being a hottie in the chat right now, as a matter of fact.
I love me some. Don't get me started.
Stella was a MILF. Stella was a MILF. Let's be honest.
Oh, don't get me started.
Was. KG, what'd you see in the NFL over the weekend?
Oh, you know what I saw. Jets. Leonard Williams, 99 yards. How do y'all lose that game?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy, man. I just love seeing the Jets downfall. You know I do. You know I do, Neil. We good today, Neil. We is.
He kind of went Gus there.
No, but and the 49ers are dead, it looks like.
Oh, they're dead.
They're dead on arrival.
Well, didn't we have the funeral last week? We did have the funeral
And
last
Chris
week, didn't we?
McCaffrey's done for the year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I knew this would I hate to say I
It's-
knew it would happen, but
It's still a division with Kyler Murray up near the top and the Seahawks. You know what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
you.
Like I figured that this will probably go this way. These last two games, they're going to have to drop a stunner. For what? I won't believe it until they drop that game where they have no
I hear you.
the one you're stunned, like a home game,
True.
like if they lose to the Bears this weekend.
right.
Then
right,
I'll
right.
say it's over.
But I mean, they didn't even.
Or if they lose to the Rams at home, I'll say it's over. Or if they lose, you know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
division
I know it's
is
the Bills,
so
but-
shit.
it is.
That division is terrible. Nobody wants to win that division.
But what
The
gives
NFC
besides
West.
that? What gives you confidence about the Niners? I mean, they kind of in disarray.
No, 100%.
Look at the Cardinals. Look what the Cardinals did.
But look at this division.
But
The
I would
Rams
trust
are
the
gonna win that
Cardinals
division.
at this point way before I would trust the
if
Niners.
they played each other today, you know who would win that game.
Dude,
know.
see,
Say that,
to
man.
your point, you know what we're
And they
doing?
play the last week of the season.
But I've been trying to warn people since last year about their playoff run, bro. They barely got through last year in the playoffs.
We are basing the Niners on past accomplishments, not what we see before
Thank you.
our eyes.
Thank you.
They look like shit.
100%.
They really do.
C-Mac can't
But-
save them.
But that division, I know Seattle has a 2-game lead. But
2.5 with the tiebreaker.
yeah, right. Do I think it's done? Yes. I think they're done being a relevant threat this year. Let's see what happens next year. I still contend they need to upgrade their quarterback.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's such a cute little story, Mr. Irrelevant,
It was
and all
cool
that.
for a season and a half.
If you want to be serious, you need to upgrade your quarterback.
Would you bet your mortgage that they'll make the playoffs? The Niners?
No.
Thank you. my case is proven.
No, but I would be sweating it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you said, all right, Neil, you have to bet your mortgage on they make the playoffs or they don't.
Yeah.
Like I'd say, well, the math tells me to say no.
I hear you.
But I got a feeling.
Okay.
You know what? It's just, and it's not anything the 49ers are doing.
Yeah, I get
you. Again,
I
that
understand
last
the
game of the
reasoning, I
season,
just don't
if they have a
believe it.
shot to make the playoffs and they're playing at Arizona, I would bet my money on the
Yeah.
on the 49ers that night.
Y'all not wrong. I get the reasoning. It's just
Yeah.
nothing indicates to me
There's
that
nothing
they are
watching them.
Yeah,
Nothing.
they are horrible.
Nothing watching
Shell
them.
of themselves.
No.
Spenny, what'd you see?
I saw Kirk Cousins choke, man.
Yeah, it was bad.
They're another one. They
Yeah.
don't want it either.
Yeah, they do not want that division. That was given to them. I saw something out of the Panthers the past couple weeks. I've liked it a lot. I like how the Panthers are playing ball right now. I truly
Can
do.
I ask you a question? Is Bryce Young figuring it out?
Bryce Young is actually good at football.
He is.
Like, surprise.
He wasn't the problem.
Yeah,
You-
he might be 5'2", but he's actually good at
I'm
football.
glad to hear you say that
Yeah.
because that, like, my buddies and I were like, the old Thanos. Maybe I was a little harsh on you. That like, honestly, that was kind of my takeaway. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying the guy's going to be a Hall of Famer or anything, but he's kind of figuring it out under not the easiest circumstances as well.
I tried to tell Braylon situation matters. I mean, you can say what you felt about him coming out of college, but where you go absolutely matters, man. And I just think that he went to a very, very shit situation. He's making the best of it now. He needed to sit
Playing
for a little
good ball.
bit, but yeah, he's playing better ball now.
He's. I picked them to win not this week, but the past 2 weeks, and they did. And they should have won this game. Chuba Hubbard fumbled. I don't know if
Yeah,
you guys saw that
that was
picture
tough.
of him. He was the last one sitting on the bench like 30 minutes after game time because he fumbled in overtime. You lost the game. So
Yeah.
they should have won that game. Chuba Hubbard doesn't fumble the ball that much either. So and he's been having a great season. So I don't want to rag on him. But the Panthers are fun to watch. Bryce Young's playing good
Now
football.
that's a little
Yeah, I was about to
aggressive.
say-
They're
a little
fun to
bit.
watch.
It's a
They're a
little-
scrappy team. And Bryce Young's playing good
Fun to
football.
watch.
He is.
Yeah, fun to watch just a little bit.
You lost me at that one, Spenny.
Hey, I'm just
Okay.
saying, watch the Panthers game. I'd rather watch the Panthers than and Aziz Al Sair.
Yeah.
he should be suspended for like 5 games.
Yeah, that hit on.
That was trash.
That
bro.
was,
T-Law
and he
was
has
horrible.
a track record of being dirty.
Yeah.
And hitting people
Yeah.
far after the whistle and injuring people.
Yeah.
So
That was uncomfortable.
That is
Yeah, it was
not.
tough.
That shouldn't be allowed in football. Like, you pussy little Vikings and Rams fans want to talk about Kirby Joseph or Brian Branch being dirty. That's what a dirty hit looks like.
100%.
That is what a dirty hit
compare
looks
and
like.
contrast. I agree.
Woodward Sports
He
chat
should be
thread.
suspended at least 2 games.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That was egregious. That was vicious, dude. Like, you don't... That was uncomfortable.
No, yeah.
Like, I saw that, and I was like, God, I don't want to see
that
that
could
again.
kill someone.
he looked like
you
Tua
could
out there,
legitimately kill someone doing that.
Yeah, and it's such a puss move, dude. Like, for real, it is. Alan W. Neil, I saw a 2-time MVP that refused to use his legs and a wash kicker lose the game.
Yeah,
Lamar
Justin
has a
Tucker's
hater
washed
for
for
life
sure.
in me now, bro.
Dude, stereotypes exist for a reason.
Yeah.
And you know how you make stereotypes go away?
By not doing the things
By
that
not
people
doing the
accuse
things.
you.
Right. He ain't doing it.
He can't.
He ain't doing it.
He doesn't step up.
And you know what the problem is? I think we're all guilty of this in a certain regard, okay? And hear me out. And the guy's obviously a fantastic player. All right, give him his flowers for that, okay? You know what you do and you go, well, wait a second. Lamar Jackson threw for 237 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had 8 carries for 79 yards, and you guys are sitting here blaming him. And do you know what I would say? Did you watch a game?
He missed a lot of open
You tell me.
throws.
The second half was exactly what people say about Lamar Jackson. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. And he missed, as you said, a lot of open men. And it's more than just the numbers. It's eye test. And he failed miserably in the second half of that game. That was a golden opportunity
On America's Game of the Week.
to kind of put all of that crap on the side against a red-hot Eagles team. And instead, he added another chapter to the Lamar Jackson story.
And I will give him the smallest amount of break because Justin Tucker missed 3 kicks.
That's unbelievable to me.
That has never happened to him in his career.
Right.
He missed 2 field goals. He missed an extra point. If he hits those, they win the game because they're driving down the end of the game to win the game. They score a touchdown and win it. So Lamar does need to overcome that, unfortunately, because he is the 2-time MVP and he needs to make the plays. There are plays able to make. He still should have won that game, but it's not. I'm putting it more on Justin Tucker
Well,
than I
and
am Lamar.
everybody's going to look at Lamar Romo in those cases, and it is, and that's why people say things like that. Hey, cool, this is the Black Tony Romo. I mean, that's the stuff people are saying right now. I mean,
the Black Tony
no, I'm
Romo.
saying, but right?
Yeah.
Tony Romo.
That's tough.
Man, I'd roll into a season with Tony Romo as my fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
And my man,
Come
Tony,
playoff
you ain't
time,
going to win
though.
shit come playoff time, but
you
you get
rack those
yourself a
numbers.
ring as my fantasy quarterback. And that's
Tony
kind of where
Romo
Lamar
is
Jackson's
tough.
at right now, man.
Is it accurate?
Almost. I mean, at least he an MVP.
He's like, almost.
I'm not ready to go there yet, but that's tough, dog. That's tough.
Oh, by the way, too, I do want to take this final break. By the way, Justin Tucker, if you think he's washed, you can cut him after this year. $7.5 million dead cap on a kicker.
It's tough.
He is washed.
That's what happened when you a legacy act.
Life moves pretty fast.
He's missed a
everybody.
lot of He's missed a lot of kicks this year.
Kickers are so strange, man. Sometimes they can lose it and then get it back.
Yeah.
Like, remember Mason Crosby, that game at Ford Field a few years ago? I mean, that dude was a money kicker. And it gets in their melons.
He's
And
missed
he
8
was shot.
kicks.
It was like, yeah, run him out there, baby. There's no way in hell he's going to hit that, you know?
All right, let me tell you about Planet Fitness because I have a Red Wings question for Sean when we come back that we got to squeeze in. Planet Fitness Studios, everybody. I was there just a couple hours ago getting it in and doing the thing. Cardio, well, every day it's a cardio day, but that's the way that it works. You jump in, get the treadmill, knock them miles out. Today was lifting as well. Did some arms work in there, and you can do all of it because Planet Fitness has tons of cardio equipment, treadmills, ellipticals, steppers. I see those animals over there on that stair mill. Good Lord, those people are built different, man. But hey, there's tons of weights too. You're not waiting for stuff. Hey, you can come in and get your work done and then catch a shower in a sparkling clean bathroom facility. Everything about it is top notch, and it is Planet Fitness. They're the best gym in the gym game. And a Black Card membership, just $24.99 per month. It's the best value in American consumerism, everybody. Some of you are paying $70, $80, $90 a month at your gym. Why? The weights weigh the same, everybody. What are we doing out here? Go to planetfitness.com, join there, pull in the parking lot. There's over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights. Go to Planet Fitness.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Neil Rule here for Dr. Pierce, our injury insider. Joins us here on Tuesdays on Big D Energy. Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards, and his visit powered by the Michigan Sports and Spine Center and MRI of Southfield. Scan the QR code on the screen. He's helped myself. He's helped Spenny. Oh, by the way, he helped save Darren McCarty's career if you need some credentials. But he's always talking sports injury news with us and giving the Weekend Warriors some tips as well. You see his clips on social media. Man knows what he's talking about. Dr. Pierce, our injury insider, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. All right, final segment of the show. Appreciate everybody. If you're just joining us for the first time, the number's obviously popping off. Welcome to Woodward Sports. We're happy to have you. Appreciate you. We believe we do this better than anybody else in the state of Michigan, all entities included. The numbers say that you agree. I'll just put it like that. KG Spencer Raxter here as well, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. All right, Sean, Red Wings news earlier today. Sebastian Cossa has been called up, which I'm sure makes Spencer happy. Is it Ville Husso that will be jettisoned? Or
no, it's Lions in the IR, and Talbot got hurt yesterday.
So have we heard anything about the Talbot injury?
It's on upper body, so it was probably his knee or something.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, probably. Sean, all right, here's a question to me then that I have from me to you.
All right.
If Kossa's here now and we just got out of November, then why wasn't he here to start?
It was the injuries. It was an emergency situation.
I am a firm believer.
But is he coming up to play?
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah, he has to. I'm a firm believer, Ryan, that I think he is the man before the man. And I've said that many times. I think Trey Augustine is eventually a starting goaltender for this team. And I'm not saying that because of my hat. I'm saying it because of my eyes, and I'm saying that because of talking to some people.
You're the first person in the media that I've heard say that.
I've been wrong before. I might be wrong this time. But I think, again, if you look at tendencies, and that's all we could do with Steve Yzerman. Steve Yzerman had his Ben Bishop. And Ben Bishop took them to the Stanley Cup final before he had his guy. The guy that he drafted in Andrei Vasilevsky. And when Vasilevsky was ready to take the mantle, he was ready to take the mantle. You can still make a run. I don't think Steve Yzerman has any kind of sense of urgency here right now. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in Hades that his seat is hot or anything like that. I think the fans are hot, and I think the fans have the right to be hot. The clock has started. It has. I mean, I get the whole, and Neil, you and I have talked about it. I get the whole, it's a 5-year plan. Well, we're done with the 5 years now. We are. This is the start of post 5 years, right? He was hired April 19th, 2019. We're now sitting here in December of 2019. So the clock has started. This team isn't closer to the playoff than they were last year. There's a lot of season left. Things can change, especially if you bring in a young goaltender who lights a spark. Let's see if that happens. But, Neil, I hate to say it. I'm at the same point I was a couple years with watching this team. It's a chore to watch them. I don't like that feeling. I thought last year was more exciting to watch them, And this kind of it kind of has that chore feel to me. Does that make sense?
No, I don't disagree with you. It's just I hate watching it knowing that no lead is safe.
Right.
And that's the problem I have. It does. You're always on edge. Woodward Sports chat thread, Copacetic Sushi. Neil, Tammy is happy. I'm sure Tammy Chin is very fired up.
Shout out Tammy.
I didn't see her on social media, but shout out to Tammy, by the way. I understand you're back at work, so that's good to hear.
Hi, Tammy.
I knew we were going to lose. I was at the game. I was watching the game. We dominated the first period. Then you give up a 5-on-3 going into the second period, and they scored 2 power play goals in 2 minutes. And it's you're trailing. They dominated the first period of that game. The Red Wings did. And then Husso comes in, and I'm like, well, that's the game. He gives up soft goals. Ville Husso gives up soft goals. He repeatedly gives up soft goals. He'll make some big saves. He'll make some flashy saves, but he gives up soft goals. And when you give up soft goals, you can't have 4 useless defensemen in front of you.
It's deflating, too.
And when you have Hall and Petrie and Gustafsson and Sherratt, you're going to get a lot of shots on net, and he's going to give up a lot of goals.
I know I've been banging the drum literally for 2 months, but again, the penalty kill's abysmal.
Awful.
Dead last. I mean, when you're giving up 65%, like, come on, are you kidding me? You're just not going to win a lot of hockey games like that. I think the step that we all now there are some positives. I think watching Lucas Raymond the last couple weeks. I think somebody said in the memo that the season started.
Yes.
Like, honestly, I do, but there isn't a lot to be positive right now. And I kind of hate feeling that way, but that's the reality of it. You know, there just isn't a lot to be positive about.
Cannot lose to that Vancouver team at home, dude. Yes.
You called it, Sean. You said they wouldn't be a playoff team before the year started.
Yeah.
You're the only one I heard say that.
I think the way they're doing it right now, to be honest with you, should scare the crap out of everybody.
Yep.
That's my problem. The playoff thing, because I felt the same way. I knew New Jersey would be back.
Mm-hmm.
I figured someone else that was in our space would ascend. I didn't anticipate the Capitals leading the toughest division in the league. But here we are. And so, like, there was no more room for them. You know, if all that stuff came to fruition, there was no room for them to be there. But that's the thing that's got me down. It's not that they don't make the playoffs, because if a minute of the regular season goes differently, they make the playoffs last year, I don't feel any differently than I do today. But with all that being said, that's what's got me. I like the top tier of this team. I do. I like the peak. I like the power play line. I like the skill that they have. There's nothing in the back middle to the back end. Nothing.
Not a lot to get excited about.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I kind of have the feeling I did a couple of years ago where it's a chore to watch them more.
When you're a good team, your fourth line produces.
Yeah. No.
Like, it's not a tough game to figure out, man.
Nope.
It's not. All right. That's all the damage we can do. Sean, you in on Friday?
Yeah, I'll be here Friday.
All right. Nickel package and bourbon Friday.
Yeah.
So get ready. All right. Appreciate y'all tapping in. For Sean Belizian, KG, Spencer Laxter. I'm Neil Rule. Thanks for watching the Woodward Sports Network. Ha ha! Whole lot of furniture moving.
Go blue.